Hey everybody, welcome to Game Hounds. Once again, this is Edie Sellers and Nick DiNicola on the floor live at PAX 2013. I'm here with...
Eric Monicelli.
And you are with?
Naughty Dog.
And you are showing...
The Last of Us.
Okay, so we just got done playing it. Tell me about this demo. Is this the same demo that shows up with the God of War demo?
No, actually, this demo is our Infected reveal demo. The contents for the God of War demo we haven't quite decided on yet. It's likely to be something different from this, but we're going to be announcing what that is a little bit later. So this demo is the first time that people are actually able to go hands-on with the game. And it's also the first time we're revealing what the infected humans in the game look like.
Yeah, they were actually pretty impressive. It looks like that there's multiple different kinds. I saw what is known as the clicker.
Clicker, yeah.
And the runners.
Runners, yeah.
And did I miss any other ones that you revealed?
So the infected have two different stages for this demo. There's going to be more stages when the final game ships. But right now we're showing off runners and clickers. Runners are the sort of... early stage of infection. It's when they still have eyesight, they still know basically what's going on in the world, but this fungus has started to affect their brain a little bit. Once you get to the clicker stage, you're basically screwed. What's happened at that point is the fungus has permeated your brain. It's basically started to push out of your orifices and sort of your eye sockets, and you look like you have a mushroom head.
Right, that's what it looks like. It looks like literally a mushroom head, and then the clickers are using, I guess, sonic, clicking and echolocation.
Echolocation, yeah. So they use echolocation, they use sound, that's how they perceive things in the game world and get around. There's also a cool thing that we put in for Joel, and you can essentially go into listening mode. Listening mode, if you hit R2 on your controller, you'll jump down into listening mode, and it sort of like lets you perceive what's in your game environment, lets you slow down and look around and strategically plan how you want to attack these enemies.
Right.
And speaking of attacking the enemies, the combat had a really slow pace to it. The whole game is paced kind of slow, but very there's a suspense to everything, and especially once you get into combat, the clickers and the runners, they can take you down pretty quickly, and the combat is just a matter of trying to sneak up on them or trying to avoid them, and a mix of using the sound to distract them and then sneak up or sneak past them, and that's a very different feel from the other game that you're known for, Uncharted. And it took a little second to get used to, because I kept trying to jump, I kept trying to run, and then I realized this is not going to work. And that's when I started going slow and taking things more carefully. And it's a very different feel kind of game, but it's very intense and very suspenseful, almost like a horror game at times.
Yeah, I mean, what we wanted to do is we wanted to create a combat situation that's intimate, that's in your face, that is always, there's an imminent threat sort of lurking, it's unpredictable. So when you're faced in a horror situation, generally that's more about your fear of the unknown. This is about fear of the familiar, fear of the known. So it's a little bit different. We're calling this survival action. It's not a survival horror game. There's actually a lot of action to this game. If you get into the combat, you'll notice that some of it's really frenetic and intense when you get into melee and things like that, but you can back off. You can choose to be offensive or defensive. So that's really what we were going for.
I really like how the crafting incorporated into the combat too, because it seemed like when you sneak up on someone you can either strangle them, but that takes a while, or you can shiv them, and that's really quick. But the shivs are items that get used up. And so you have to find items, then craft shivs from that, and then you have the option of either taking them down slowly or taking them down quickly, and that feeds into either the frenetic or the slow pace. And I really like how the crafting actually feeds back into the combat, and there's a nice give and take there.
Yeah, thanks for that. I mean, we put a lot of effort into making sure that, this is a game that's your resources are scarce in the game world when you go through. So you got to be careful and choose on how you want to take people out, and you got to be thoughtful on how you approach the combat. But it's also, we want to make sure that, you're not pulling out some briefcase and pulling out your bazooka from it. It's got to be grounded in reality. It's got to be grounded in something that's realistic. So, things break, things deteriorate over time as you use them. So in this game, if you craft something and you use that item, it may disappear altogether, or you may actually notice there's a little sort of indicator on it that'll show you that it's starting to deteriorate a little bit.
So about how many hours of gameplay are you expecting for this particular one?
This is one of our longest campaigns ever. Right now, if you just pay through at a normal pace, like most good gamers, you're going to look at 12 to 16 hours. If you want to do everything throughout the game, it's going to take you much longer than that. So it's all relative to how your play style is. Some people, everybody, there's those people out there that can do speed runs on things and get through them in Mario Brothers in 5 minutes or something like that. But definitely there's we put there's almost an hour and a half of just cinematics in this game. So there's a lot of story to be told, and there's a lot of gameplay in addition to the story that's being told.
And I know, obviously, single player. Is there any multiplayer plan for this?
Yeah, there's a multiplayer component, and we're still working on refining that and getting that just perfect. We're focus testing the hell out of it right now. So once we're ready, and we get it to a point where we're comfortable with it, we're gonna sort of release information and go out on it.
So I was gonna say. So I was actually gonna ask. So what is that going to be like? Would you imagine it to be something very similar to the multiplayers you had in the past, say, i.e., Uncharted?
Yeah, I mean, we took a lot of the learning from Uncharted and applied it to multiplayer in The Last of Us, but we also, it's a completely different game world. Uncharted and Last of Us, as you mentioned earlier, the combat is completely different. So we want to make sure that our multiplayer is reflective of the brand DNA and the personality of this new IP. So we're taking a lot of time to figure out what our multiplayer should be, because it needs to be something that is The Last of Us.
Will Joel be doing a bunch of climbing?
Joel is not Drake. Let's say that much. So yeah, he's from the South. He's right now in this world he's become a black market smuggler. So he's not really the climbing type of guy. He's that sort of thing.
It did feel that way. I kept trying to jump and realizing, oh wait, no, I'm not going to make this jump.
I know, that's exactly what I was trying to do. I'm like, Nathan could make this. What the hell?
Yeah.
Okay, in a barroom fight, who would win, Nathan or Joel?
Oh, man. Honestly, that's got to be that. Maybe we'll see that in PlayStation All-Stars or something. But maybe one day that would be cool. That's how we could solve that question. But
where would you put your $50?
I would honestly, I think for the resourcefulness of Joel, would probably beat out. I love me some Drake. He's but I think Joel is just he's so hardened that he would figure out a way to do it. But that's a tough fight for me to make. I love them both. I don't want anybody to get hurt, so I'm a pacifist.
So we talked about the multiplayer. What else did I want to ask? Oh, this particular demo that we just played. Well, what point in the story is that? It seems very early on.
Yeah, it is pretty early on in the storyline. What has happened here is you'll actually see Joel and his partner Tess, who are both black market smugglers, and you'll see Ellie, who's essentially their cargo, and they've been tasked with getting Ellie from the East Coast to this location, undisclosed location out west. So it's fairly early in the game. I think it's right around stage 3, so it's chapter 3.
And is it going to take you all across the dystopian America?
Yeah, you're gonna journey basically east to west in this game.
Oh, wow,
yeah.
that much.
Yeah, so I mean, Naughty Dog's known for showing a lot of variants and varieties.
And I had and just left my head because it's
favorite dog breed.
What is your favorite dog breed?
That's such a hard one. I have a.
Is Naughty Dog a dog-friendly environment?
Naughty Dog. Sadly, we have our president. I know our president's dogs are on the lease, so they can come. But the building we're in has rules about dogs, so we can't bring that many dogs, unfortunately.
Well, wait a minute. The president of Naughty Dog's dogs.
Co-presidents.
The co-presidents, Naughty Dog's dogs.
Are Pogo and Trumpet.
Pogo and Trumpet are on the lease?
They're on the lease, yes. So as the dogs, yes, they're the dogs listed that can come. It's pretty amazing. We're actually going to have some really cool. This is just look for Uncharted 3.